In these 3 parts of video, we'll do some improvement to our form such as slug input, excerpt, body, publication date, and also post image or a feature image. Okay, let's start off from the slug input. Currently we have to enter manually, and we'll make this input automatically filled with value that taken from the title input by replacing all spaces with a minus character and eliminates other special characters except alphanumeric characters. In order to make the slug automatically filled with the title, as I mentioned before, we need ID attribute in this input to make it easier selected by jQuery selector. Okay, both title and slug has ID attributes, so we can continue to the next steps. Let's select the form input, which has title ID, and create a blur event handler, which means when the cursor lost focus from the title input, will do something. Firstly, let's create a variable to hold a value entered in title input. Then we convert into lowercase. And remove all spaces at the left and right. Then let's select slug input and assign it to a variable. Before moving on, let's try to enter title and see the slug input change. Okay, now the slug input automatically filled with characters based on the title input value in lowercase. Next, we can use regular expression to change the non-alphanumeric characters with minus character. Let's change this to the slug, and it should be minus. Okay, all spaces character, because it is not alphanumeric character, will be replaced with minus. In addition, we need to eliminate double minus with single minus. Then plus or minus in the left or right also should be removed. Last, I would replace the ampersand character with minus and minus. Let's try. The ampersand character is failed to be replaced. This is because I had replaced it with minus, as it was a non-alphanumeric character. So we need to place this in the front. Okay, I think this slug is working perfectly. Then we'll make this excerpt and body as WYSIWYG editor. There are many plugins out there, but because here we are dealing with Markdown, so I think using simple MDA is a good choice. Later you can try other editor like CK editor or TinyMCE, which is most popular. Extract the package, and here we only need these 2 files. Just copy the directory, and paste it in plugins directory. Then change it to simple MDE. Let's see the instruction on GitHub. Here we have two options. We can apply the editor using vanilla JavaScript or using jQuery. Firstly, we need to load the CSS and JavaScript file references of simple MDE in our layout. Then we apply the simple MDE for each excerpt and body. Okay, now we have two beautiful editors in our form. Let's try to add a heading 1, heading 2, font bold, font italic. I think I have to adjust the height of excerpt editor. I inspect element, and I'll add additional class in this form group div. For example, excerpt. Add new CSS rule. The simple MDE automatically add additional codemeter class to the text area, so we need to include it in the CSS rule. I'll set the height, for example, 100 pixel, and the min height as well. I think 130 is good. I'll copy the CSS rule. I'll save the newly created CSS rule in new CSS file, then load that file in the layout. And here I create the file inside Backend CSS and paste the code here. Reload. In the form, I also need to add excerpt class as well. Reload again. Okay, I think it's look better. In the next video, we'll install the time picker for publish date input.